Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Nikola. I am head of marketing at Opera Plovdiv and part of the organizing committee of Opera Open Festival. So I'll tell you something about our institution and about the Opera Open Festival. I'll read because it's in English and I don't want to skip anything. So, and you may see some of our pictures from the festival. So, Opera Plovdiv is the largest cultural institution in Plovdiv and one of the leading ones in Bulgaria. It employs 300 people, including 200 artists. This is soloists, orchestra, choir and ballet, as well as technical services, workshops, and a small number of administration. The opera was established in 1953, and this year we celebrate 70th anniversary. Opera Plovdiv's orchestra is even older. It is the successor of Plovdiv Philharmonic Orchestra, which was founded in 1945, and in 2010, the Philharmonic Orchestra and the opera merged into one organization, so we are one whole now. Opera Plovdiv develops rich artistic activity by presenting operas, operettas, musicals, ballet, modern dance, symphonic concerts, children's performances, and educational programs. Annually, the opera presents around 120-130 performances for about 70,000 spectators. The annual budget of the Plovdiv Opera for last year was 9 million leva. Special emphasis in the creative work of the opera is placed on outdoor performances. The first one started in 1965 with shows on the beautiful Plovdiv Hill Bunarjika. I hope you can manage to go. It's the one with the statue. It's seen everywhere. Approximately 20 years later, with the excavations of the Asian Theatre in Plovdiv, the opera had a unique stage. In 1987, for the first time, Opera Plovdiv staged Verdi's opera Aida at the Asian Theatre, and 1 year later, it staged Carmina Burana for the first time in Bulgaria. Initially, the event was called Musical Nights at the Asian Theatre, but over time it developed into Verdi Festival, and in 1990 the festival was very famous, and its program included seven different titles. It experienced a rise with a series of premieres and performances by opera stars. After 2010, the interest in the Verdi Festival began to decline due to several factors because of the financial crisis in Bulgaria, reorganization, and a 7-year renovation of the building of Opera Plovdiv. So the opera didn't have a place to rehearse. This deterioration continued, but in 2013 it was announced that Bulgaria will participate in the initiative European Capital of Culture. So the application book of Plovdiv included the project Opera Restart. And this would be a parallel program to the traditional opera season in Plovdiv. The aim was to change the stereotypes associated with this art by surprising the audience with new artistic approaches and performance spaces, like the Asian Theatre. Thus, Plovdiv's candidacy for the European Capital of Culture became a catalyst for the revival and the renewal of the opera festival at the Asian Theatre. And it needed to acquire a contemporary sound and attract new audiences. The transformation of the declining Verdi Festival into Opera Open began in 2014, parallel to Plovdiv's candidacy. The process of winning the title Plovdiv European Capital of Culture and additional funding provided for international participation and technical modernization provided the impetus for transforming this festival into a contemporary cultural platform. The success of this transition was guaranteed by the creative efforts of Plovdiv Opera Collective and the implementation of a long-term marketing strategy. I will tell you something about our strategy, and Mr. Luciano Di Martino, so Luciano will tell you about the creative part of the festival. Opera Open, as a marketing product, possesses specific material and non-material characteristics of a musical festival that significantly distinguish it from other art products. It is a combination of several individual products from different musical and stage genres, like opera, operetta, ballet, and concerts. It is also influenced by their selection and the programming order, the venue itself, the manner of presentation, the prestige of the participants, the atmosphere, history, and tradition, all elements of the market value of the brand, which we call Opera Open. So the name is the key element of the brand. So after extensive brainstorming by our organizational committee, it was concluded that opera is a phonetically universal word in several languages, and it's recognizable even to the Bulgarian audience when written in Latin. So another such English word commonly used in everyday life is open. The combination opera open is easily spelled in Latin, recognized in Bulgarian. It is short to pronounce and can be recognized through analogies with popular sport events like Australian Open, but also with traditional musical festivals like Classic Open in Leipzig, Classic Open Air in Berlin, and so on. The word open carries several additional meanings and symbolism. The festival takes place in an open-air setting, like the Asian Theatre. The event embraces other music and stage genres. So we are open to ballet, to jazz, to modern dance, and the performances are open to new audiences as well, including young audiences and international tourists and visitors to the city. The programming change in Opera Open follows a policy of gradual transition, aiming not to alienate the traditional loyal opera audience that has been built over the years, but also to attract new audiences. The programming approach seeks a balance between evergreen favorites that attract mass audience due to their familiarity. The first category includes operas like Carmen, which set a record as the most attended opera premiere at the festival with 2,600 spectators, and Aida, which closes Opera Open each year with a performance at the Asian Theatre. The second category includes composers like Wagner and compositions by contemporary authors or contemporary directors. These titles are sought after by opera connoisseurs and serve as a motivation for the development of international tourism. You will see our premiere Clemenza di Tito by Mozart, but it's a modern production on Saturday, so it's the second category that is not so famous for the general audience, and we like to attract new audiences and connoisseurs from abroad with this production. In the following years, Opera Open evolved as a multi-genre platform, programming representatives from an increasing number of music and stage genres, including operetta, jazz, musicals. As the organizer of the festival, Opera Plovdiv is open to collaboration with other participants. The programming diversity of Opera Open is enhanced by co-productions with opera theaters in the country and abroad. We had a co-production with Teatro Regio di Parma. We have co-productions with Sofia Opera, and last night we had a co-production with the Thessaloniki Symphonic Orchestra. The number of the performances in the festival program depends on three main factors. The availability of the stage, because the Asian theater is not reserved only for opera. The creative and production capacity of our organization, and the economically avoiding diminishing returns by analyzing the balance between audience numbers, revenue, and expenses. The specificity of opera performances, you will see tomorrow in how we produce the opera and the rehearsing process, and it's very different from a pop or rock concert. It requires a minimum of 2 days for set construction and dress rehearsal at the Asian Theatre, as well as a backup date in case of bad weather. For premiere performances, we need at least 1 week at this space to explore and connecting technical rehearsals. So for 10 performances in Opera Open, we block approximately 50 to 60 days of the Asian Theatre, or half of the active season, for hosting events. Considering access to the stage, the Opera Open program optimally includes 9 to 11 titles every year. Creative work cannot be intensified. The preparation of an opera or ballet performance requires a long rehearsal process, which limits the production capacity over time and reduces the number of premieres to 2 or maximally 3 per summer season. Skillful programming requires balancing the titles by alternating premieres with odd performances, or alternating titles with different workloads for the various artistic elements. So we schedule opera, then ballet, then musical, then again opera. So we distribute the workloads among the different artists. Another factor is the limited production capacity of the workshops at the Plovdiv Opera, which can produce up to 2 titles with entirely new stage sets and costumes for 1 edition of Opera Open. The rest of the program is realized through the rental of sets, co-productions, and the use of other stage forms such as gala operas and multimedia concerts. Our analysis showed that the titles economically work better when they're 10 to 11, not more. More than 10 or 11 titles, then we have increased these economies of scale. So we put more money, but we get less money from the revenue. So the 10 to 11 is the balance each year economically. A marketing focus in the approach to modernizing and increasing the prestige of the brand is international participation. Mr. Luciano will tell you about this after me. Biographies of soloists with success, some of the world's leading opera and ballet stages, added value to the festival, both for the Bulgarian and international audience. We use new technologies in an attempt to modernize the festival. The universal and timeless themes of opera can sound relevant and attract interest of a young new audience through the use of modern technologies and stage solutions that move away from the outdated theatrical means associated with the genre. Examples included digital projections, 3D mapping, which not only offer an attractive visual experience, but also allow for more diverse stage solutions without the need for expensive sets. This approach is particularly suitable and financially justified for titles that are presented only once within the festival. Significant part of the success and popularity of opera performances at the Asian Theatre is due to the impact and beauty of the stage itself. The Asian Theatre is an integral part of the Opera Open brand. In a marketing survey that we conducted online, 26.7% of respondents stated that they are motivated to attend Opera Open performances because of the uniqueness of the Asian theatre stage. Several outdoor opera festivals are associated with similar historical and geographical settings, such as the Arena di Verona Festival, the Athens Festival at the Odeon of Herodos Atticus, the Puccini Festival at Lake Torre del Lago, the Bregenz Festival at Lake Constance, and others. Some words about the distribution as a marketing factor. Easy and fast access to Opera Open tickets from anywhere in Bulgaria and beyond is crucial for the success and high attendance of the festival. The ticket distribution channels utilize the existing distribution network of the Opera Open, the Opera Plovdiv, and with temporal, additional, seasonal sales points throughout the city. The majority of the customers, 43%, indicate that they purchase tickets 1 month before the performance. The survey also showed that 19% of spectators buy tickets in the week before the performance. Tickets are offered online through Event Team BG, which is an international platform event team. According to the information from 217, 15.6% of tickets were sold online, but during and after the COVID pandemic, over 50% of tickets are now purchased online. To reach and attract additional audience of 220,000 and 30,000 people within 2 months, a comprehensive advertising strategy is necessary to direct to different audience segments and to provide them with diverse information and creative advertising. The annual advertising budget for Opera Open in 2017 was about 45,000 leva, and in this year it exceeds 80,000 Bulgarian leva. You will meet the creative team for the advertising, which is Punkt. They will talk in the afternoon, I guess. Now, some words about the pricing. In a purely market environment, the pricing of a cultural product, tickets for the Opera Open Festival, should primarily depend on the market equilibrium between supply and demand. However, since opera art cannot fully self-finance itself, the activities of the Plovdiv Opera as a state cultural institutions are additionally financed by the Ministry of Culture. So we have additional budget for each ticket that we sell. We have some additional money that supply and Opera Open Festival. At the start of the Opera Open Festival are the After Verdi Festival back in 2014. The average ticket price for an opera performance at the Asian Theatre was 6 leva. This price was inherited. It's 3 euros, which is very low. We inherited and we started gradually to raise the price. So the average ticket price now is 35 Bulgarian leva, with a minimum price of 25 leva and a maximum price of 1,000 leva. The pricing policy of Opera Open is flexible and varies for each title in the program based on real-time on the audience interest and other factors like competition. And finally, about the discounts. The conducted marketing research shows that 26% of spectators attend only one of the offered 10 or 11 titles of opera open, while 47% of the audience choose maximum two or three of them. 25 responded that they try to attend all performances in the program. So we aim sales discounts to stimulate more frequent attendance of the festival and reach a wider audience throughout financial relief, as the regular ticket prices for all performances would be more than 300 Bulgarian leva if you want to attend all the performances. So we have various promotional packages, introducing them through different channels to encourage attendance. That's for me from the marketing of the opera festival. Thank you. We'll change places, yes.
Okay. Maybe you can help me with this other microphone. Hello, everybody. So I'm very happy that you are here. Welcome in Plovdiv. So maybe the first question, if you have, is what is making a musician here and to speak with a manager? You are young managers, or you like to be manager, no? A cultural manager. Shortly about me. I studied conducting at the University of Music and Drama in Hamburg, in North Germany. At the same time, I had the fantastic possibility to study three years cultural management. I was really every time interested to see what is the management in the music, how to realize a project or a musical idea, and how to finance it, how to organize the publicity and so on. And my first, when I was student, it's a long time ago, when I was student, the first project which I realized with a sponsor was Carmina Burana by Karl Orff. I conducted this, I organized an orchestra, a big choir, and I paid the concert hall and so, and it was my first experience as a musician, but in the management. After that, I found a bigger sponsor for 100,000 Deutsche D-Mark, it was in that time, and I realized a big symphony concert in the concert hall. So I began to see what is management. I'm interested, I am not a professional manager, but I saw and I participated in the last 10 years now with the team, with Nikola, with Lili and the director of the theater. We realized many projects. And thank you to Nikola Shopov that he introduced you now the most very important things for a management in music. It's incredible, very good written and very good presented. And so, sorry if I repeat some things which I wrote. Maybe the same things, but only a little shorter. Maybe I will enrich a little the things which Nikola presented you, and to have some questions at the end. I would like to give you some question what is important for you. This is you understood the festival is a very complex organization connected with many peoples. We are a little team. If you go in Arena di Verona, there is a bigger team with many assistants and many managers who helps to realize the festival. But the principles are the same. You must know this. Beautiful. We have a connection with the past because the previous festival was the Verdi Festival in Plovdiv, connected with the name of Giuseppe Verdi, because many operas from Verdi they played, and a lot of public came from abroad to listen Aida in the ancient theater in Plovdiv, for example. We continued now this tradition with the new name Opera open for everybody, open for every kind of styles, from pop music, jazz, till the classical ballet and symphonic concerts and operas, of course. I would like to say some things. I improvise a little. What is my point of view from my personal experience? My personal experience as a conductor and in the organization of a festival management, which we make in the last 10 years. Important is the name of the solists. You need a name to attract the audience. Of course, a name from an international scene. It's every time better and easier to attract more public. It's easy. It's very easy. The title of opera, if you make an opera, the title of an opera, you know that Arena di Verona is very connected to Aida. Are you agree with me? Aida, Arena di Verona. So many tourists from Germany goes to Verona to see Aida, maybe other operas too. But it's an old tradition there. In the ancient theater in Plovdiv is a little the same with Aida, but with many other operas. And we changed a little the structure because we make other styles as well, because we have a different public. If we play a musical, we have a little different public, more from the new generation, which is important in new generation. Why it's important? Because with culture, we educate the public. The new generation is the public for the future. And of course, we like to embrace everybody, open to everybody, not only the romantic opera, but the modern musical, or maybe pop music with symphonic orchestra, or classical or modern dance. So many different. So it's very complex. Then the location is important. You know, you understand that in everybody, so many people who nothing understand about opera, they goes to Verona because it's a beautiful place. Because, okay, to listen the beautiful music as well. And of course, the most of the people do this in Plovdiv as well. So, and you know, in every country there is an archaeological place where are festivals in France as well. Do you know the city Orange, Les Corrigi d'Orange? It's very famous ancient Roman theater. And in every place you find, in archaeological places, important festivals. So this is a communication. My opinion is a communication with the world, with people who comes from abroad and listen beautiful performances as well. But you need, every time, you need, of course, a good proposal. Who is interesting not only for the opera fans, but most of all, I repeat it again, for the young people, because the young people is the audience for the future. At the same time, we have a big responsibility as an opera house in the city. A festival or an opera house, but in this case, the festival, Opera Open, it's like a business card for the city. You know that to realize beautiful operas, which are very very complex, you need stage design, costumes, lighting. You need a stage director, a conductor who coordinate all the music with all the musicians, and so it's very complex but beautiful, because the people comes to the performance to have unforgettable moments and beautiful moments in a beautiful place, which is an archaeological place. And we educate the public in this way, of course. With good music, we educate the public. This is important for every kind of city, and most of all for a city which is a European capital of culture. And I can say that in short, that this is a festival is a business card, I told, for the city. It's a tourist attraction. It brings financial benefits to the city, and you make culture. So that's why a manager for cultural manager works for this. To have then at the end a financial success and an artistic success. And this is everybody in the world speaks about, I don't know, again with Verona. Verona is connected to Arena di Verona. Maybe it's connected with other Romeo and Juliet as well, but the first of all is Arena, the Arena di Verona. It is connected. So, and Plovdiv has, of course, with the old, very old and ancient history, here are many things. We can speak about many things about Plovdiv, but it's very connected to the ancient theater, and this festival is very known. So this is my opinion, what is most important. The responsibility, it's very big, and you need every year, and of course during the season, every month, new ideas. The offer must be new every month and every year for the festival. I would like to close, but you correct me if it's right, because I understood that the success which we have achieved can be illustrated in numbers with the festival. 10 years ago, when we started with Opera Open, we had a total of 7,000 visitors. Yes. In 2019, when Plovdiv was European Capital of Culture, we had about 25,000 visitors. So it means that today, 4 years after 2019, I think that we have more than 25,000. It's like in a big company where at the beginning a small number of products are sold, and then after that, from year to year, more and more are sold. This is the same. This is an artistic success and a financial success. So this is in little my experience, which I made in the last 10 years in Plovdiv, and maybe in the last 25 years as a conductor connected with management concerts, which I organized for myself in the past and so. But in the last 10 years with the team of Opera Plovdiv. I have a question for you. Maybe you are interested to answer it. The question from our team today is how to attract an international audience, many people from abroad, not only a local people, but from abroad, an international audience in a highly competitive environment. How to attract as well sponsors, how to attract audience from abroad. This is a very interesting question, I think, for you. If you have some question or if you can answer, yeah, I'm I will be very, very happy if somebody can tell some things about it. Yes, of course. You know that if we organize, if we invite an international artist, the management must start 1 year or 2 years before to invite the artist, because they are very busy, they are very engaged and all over the world, and so it's of course sometimes it's not easy because sometimes we don't know the budget, how much we have to pay then the artist, but you told that it's important to know how much money you have and who can you invite. But every time you must be interested to invite famous people. You can invite some musician who is very good, has not so big name, with a good marketing, a good publicity, you can have a lot of audience. It depends on the marketing, which kind of marketing. But a big name, of course, it's easier to sell and to have a full theater. If you have some question, I will be very happy to speak with you.